On this episode of Hot Rod Garage, we built another car there's no way I'm riding in. It's the 5-point OMG. And I think Tony already broke it.
Welcome back to Hot Rod Garage, presented by Lincoln Tech. It's time to build another fast car.
Good.
Yeah.
Fast is good.
Usually we are power-obsessed maniacs. We're jamming 400, 500, 600 horsepower into everything we build.
Present.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Good times.
Turbo and nitrous and superchargers.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But you don't actually need all that much power to go fast because there is another way.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
Power to weight ratio?
It's time to lose some weight.
I can't even ride with you now.
You gotta think small.
Small, I get to ride.
It's not a ton of power, but it's gonna be nasty fast anyway.
Perfect, it'll run every day and we'll have a good time.
I don't know about running every day, but it'll be fast. Ready? Let's go. Hit it. Ah! It's got some pep.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so we have here the 1986 Ford Mustang 5.0 5-speed.
This was a hookup back in the day.
This car was the jam back in the day. It was a pretty serious muscle car. At the time it made 200 horsepower, 285 foot-pounds of torque, and that doesn't sound like much today, but Hot Rod Magazine drove this thing to a 14.7 second quarter mile, and that was seriously fast.
I think we hit a squirrel back there.
We did. Go for it. Hit it. Oh, the power. It's crazy. We are currently rolling in our 5.0, so our hair can blow.
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
Yeah, man, back in the day, you would have been the king of the high school parking lot in this thing. We're back in the shop with our Mustang. This thing's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's a good time.
The 200 horsepower that our 8650 is putting out has to push around 3,240 pounds.
That's a bit much.
So to make it fast, we need to lose a ton of weight. I'm talking like 1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds?
1,000.
I don't think they make enough Sawzall blades to do that.
You're probably right. But I've got a different plan in mind. Instead, what we're gonna do is yank that 5-liter V8 Entrance out of the Mustang, jam it into this tiny British sports car, and make a 5 OMG. We picked up this 1964 MGB X race car on Craigslist, and it's the perfect candidate for this. A bunch of the sheet metal's been replaced with even lighter fiberglass. It's got some suspension upgrades, some knockoff wheels, a bit of a cage, no engine and transmission. We tossed this thing on the scales just to get an idea of how light it is as a rolling chassis. The way it sits now, it weighs 1,260 pounds. That means we can add 1,000 pounds of V8 and everything else we need to make this thing a driver and still hit our goal.
Can we get started now?
I'm ready to get started. So first things first, we're gonna pop the hood on this Mustang, disconnect the battery, open up that valve on the AC compressor, try not to breathe.
Cut a hole in my ozone layer.
And disconnect everything that's holding that 5-liter into the car, yank the engine and trans out, get ready to put it in the MG.
Thanks, buddy. It's Tony's biggest fan.
It's pretty big. This Mustang has basically its entire exhaust with all 4 cats and everything. We're pulling it off as one piece. I've got it disconnected from the headers, and I've pulled the back hangers, but there's this sort of complicated center hanger that's integrated into the trans mount.
Yeah, it's a fiasco.
There she goes. You're doing fine. Just go up, forward, up and forward.
Oh, be careful.
Not bad, huh?
No, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah, piece of cake. Came right out. Okay, so we've got the 5.0 freed from the Mustang, cleaned all the grime and dirt off of it, and it looks all right. It's ready to try to shoehorn it into the MG.
Wait, you were serious about that?
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Great.
I think. I really have no idea.
Job security.
Not sure how this is gonna go. I'm assuming we have to move a bunch of metal around and get pretty creative. So step one is to just lower it into the general vicinity of where it's gonna sit and see how it goes.
Sawzall.
At least. Maybe torch, grinder, plasma cutter.
Fix it with fire.
Yeah. The height of the steering rack is a little bit
Disconcerting?
unnerving.
Oh, it's gonna fit. Question is, will it still be able to roll after we get it in there? Well, front of the water pump to the back of the bell housing
Is
32 inches.
the worst that could happen. No, let's stick it in there.
This is a crazy idea. I haven't had a laugh all day. This ought to be great.
It's a small car.
Whose idea was this?
I don't know. Hold on. It'd be nice to go back 4 inches.
Yeah, it's top of the transmission is hitting the tunnel. We need to cut whatever we got to cut. Go ahead and pull it out.
I mean, it's gonna be a lot of work. My big concern is it looks like the length is gonna put the front of the engine like really far forward, getting a radiator in there and that sort of stuff's gonna be tough.
So we did a dry run slapping the motor and transmission in, and everything looked like it was nowhere near fitting anywhere. So I'm going to start with the most interference that's obvious, that's the top of the tunnel of the transmission. So we're going to cut out some of that, and we'll just kind of raise it a little, and then put the motor and tranny back in and see if we can bring it up where everything works good in the back.
Please be slow.
Okay, so I think I got to cut more floor out.
Come back out.
Yeah.
We've had the engine in and out a couple times. We still have some interference in the transmission tunnel, so Lucky's gonna get to cut that a little more, which is his favorite thing to do.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to lower the front subframe with some temporary spacers to give us a little bit more room there to get the front of the engine down. So we're gonna lower that subframe to give us more clearance for the oil pan. I found these giant spacers, drilled them out to a 1/2 inch, and we're gonna put them in. These are temporary. It will slightly change our roll center in the wrong direction, but it will be fine because we're throwing a giant V8 in here and we have kind of thrown handling to the wind already. So after lowering the cross member here and putting the engine and transmission back in, we're just not stoked with how this thing sits.
I think we're spending too much time trying to protect the car, preserve the car.
We've been like coming at this thing with kid gloves, and it's time to get serious.
Gonna go full Finnegan on it.
We are going to tear out a whole bunch of metal in the transmission tunnel, the firewall, and I'm gonna probably gut this cross member out.
Plasma cutter.
Yeah, we're gonna get serious. The goal is to move everything back 4 inches, and we think it will be much happier. I'll be much happier. So after about an entire day of cutting, hammering, and plasma torching this thing, we have the 5.0 and T5 transmission sitting in the MG where we want it.
So basically the build starts now.
Yeah, so we've got to do engine mounts, transmission mount, figure out a radiator, accessories.
Exhaust.
Yeah. Everything is going to have to fit perfectly because there's no extra space in this car.
There's so much work to do.
There's a lot of stuff to do. We should get started.
Yeah. So what we're doing here is fabricating motor mounts to put the V8 Ford motor in the MG. This is the aftermarket universal motor mount kit. However, we are going to take all this off, flip this over like this, bolt to the frame, weld this here, and then this will bolt to the motor mount. So we're just making a mini motor mount for a mini car. with a monster engine. This is going to get somebody in trouble, and I think it's going to be Tony.
Working on my tan.
So we modified those aftermarket motor mounts. We're getting ready to put the motor back in there after Tony finishes welding that stuff up. It's actually looking pretty good. We're getting closer to making noise.
Wasn't welding great at first. Got back in with a wire wheel, cleaned it up a little bit better, but this old British steel isn't the easiest stuff to work with, but it's gonna be plenty solid. So Lucky got the motor mounts done and they're sitting in there awesome. I went ahead and made a transmission mount, made up a couple tabs for the end. It's a box tube because it was just in line with my tabs. So what I had to do was make a couple slugs, slide them in there, weld it up so it's one nice big strong piece. So with this, the engine and transmission are finally mounted into place permanently and we can get on to everything else. Welcome back to another Lincoln Tech tip. Today we're going to be talking about power to weight ratio. Now, power to weight ratio is a fairly simple concept, but it is in fact the best predictor for performance in the automotive world. Since horsepower is a standardized unit of power and pounds are a standardized unit of weight, we can use them to predict how fast a car will go. Two completely different vehicles, say a Mazda Miata and a Dodge Ram, can run identical 0 to 60 in quarter-mile times, and that's because they have the exact same power-to-weight ratio. The Mazda Miata has 180 horsepower and it weighs 2,100 pounds, whereas the Ram has 375 horsepower and weighs 4,400 pounds. But on track, they're basically the same because they each have 12 pounds to push around per horsepower. For our 5OMG project, that donor Mustang weighed 3,000 pounds, which means it was pushing 15 pounds per horsepower. Now, when we've got that into the lightweight MG chassis, we've got the whole thing down to about 2,000 pounds. That means it's pushing 10 pounds per horsepower, which is a huge difference, which will take it from about a 15-second quarter mile in the Mustang to a 12-second quarter mile in that MG, and that is a monster difference. Power to weight is everything.
Lincoln Tech can teach you how to have a career working with cars. See lincolntech.edu.
Hey, you might notice a couple of interesting details that are changed on the 5OMG, most notably these demolition derby headers. These are my favorite. We discussed getting these, ordered them up because there's just nowhere else to put the exhaust. So yeah, we're Americans, right? We'll stick them right through that Union Jack hood on this MG. See, I was on the East Coast roadkilling with Finnegan, and Lucky has been a busy beaver in the shop getting a bunch of stuff done.
Yeah, while you were gone though, I got the steering handled.
Which was, I'm sure, a nightmare. Basically, we had a cylinder head in the way of the steering column. So now it's broken up with a couple of different universals on it. I see that. We've got an Edelbrock manifold on there because we're going to convert this thing to carburetor, and our remote oil filter system is in place. He's got the ignition wires made. I see he's pushed the rack forward.
Yeah, push the rack forward to ruin the bump steer and all the geometry that you work so hard to keep accurate.
Sure, that'll feel good.
I'm there for you, buddy. Drive shaft is made. Hydraulic clutch is functional. Brakes are good. We're really close on this thing.
Yeah, we need to do accessories, cooling system, carburetor, distributor. There's a lot left to do, but Lucky laid us down a nice base. Together, we'll knock this out and get on the road. So the next big thing we have to tackle is getting this thing to stay cool. And I found, I think, the only radiator in the world that is right for this setup. It's a Griffin 770035.
You go, David Freiberger.
It's for a Ford Falcon. It's 3 inches thick. It's just about the right length, and it has the outlets in the right place. But even with this radiator, there's almost no room between the water pump
Luckily,
and the car.
Tony saw that and ordered a shorter water pump.
I saw it in my mind's eye.
In your mind's eye.
So let's get water pump and pulleys on first.
Okay.
What we're doing now is just making enough space in sort of this whole grill area to fit a radiator laid down.
Like an AC Cobra.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Tony,
What's up?
there's MG in the way of our engine. This is a very delicate operation.
We didn't need that.
Tony is fabricating up some radiator mounts right now, so while he's doing that, I'm going to drop in this distributor from MSD. It's pretty simple. We set the motor at top dead center on the compression stroke, tap it, a little one, that's right at 0. Good job. So when I drop in the distributor, I just have to make sure the rotor's pointing at the #1 position on the spark plug wires.
While Lucky is finishing up the ignition, our buddies at Holley sent over a Street HP 650 CFM carburetor.
Lucky like.
That will handle our fueling just perfectly. So apparently they're making these full bodies on the Street HPs in aluminum for an even lighter carburetor setup. We're still getting this cooling system figured out, and we decided to ditch that short water pump that we found because it spins the wrong way. Turns out all of the serpentine era Fords, which are like I think 84 and up, have water pumps that spin the opposite way of the engine. So what we did was go out, get a full length water pump off a 65 Mustang 289, and then we can use our V-belt system.
Tony, it's like it was made for it.
So I'm sitting in the 5 OMG for the first time. It is a tiny little car.
I never thought I'd say this, but this car looks big on you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We've got the motor and trans sitting on the proper mounts that we made. We struggled and worked our butts off on the radiator and the alternator and the accessory drive. This crazy exhaust system. Stuff just has no space to go anywhere. We've got it crammed in there and it's about ready to fire up.
No, it's ready to fire.
Here we go.
Hold on, I'll be over here.
Okay, see ya. Fire in the hole. There it is. Okay, so we got it fired up. It sounds awesome. We've got to fill some more fluids up, bolt the seat in, put the wheels on, lower this thing down. We're gonna take it right out on the road. One of the Malibu canyons, and this thing is a handful. Whoa, whoa! It's really tail happy, and the brakes are non-existent. This is a death trap of a car. Holy, woo! Man, this thing is out of control. It's like a little go-kart with a V8 in the front. Man, this car's fast.
I think I hear him.
This thing is way too fast for having 250 horsepower. Dude, this car is insanity.
Brakes are on fire.
Yeah, it is a death trap. Honestly, foot to the floor on the brakes, almost nothing happens. It is terrifying.
I mean, the upside, nothing leaks. Everything looks great. So we did our job.
Yeah, sorta.
Perfect.
There we go. Woo! 250 horsepower, never felt so insane. So that's it for this episode of Hot Rod Garage presented by Lincoln Tech. The 5 OMG was a total success.
OMG is the perfect name for this car.
I cannot believe how fast 250 horsepower feels like when you jam it into a bathtub with wheels on it. If we made this thing handle and stop, it would just be a track machine.
Yeah, we need to get you out of the sun, buddy.
Anyway, don't forget to check us out on social media between episodes. The show is Hot Rod Garage Show on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, I am Tangelo96.
I am Mobile Tech Lucky.
We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
You want to go for one ride?
No.
You can drive it.
There's not enough seat there for me. I'm a grown-ass man.
Yeah, you are. You were a grown-ass man 30 years ago.